Good afternoon, Lake Orion and the surrounding community. Welcome to Soup to Nuts with Shelley and Debbie. We are mired in this cloudy, rainy, yucky weather. You leave the house in the morning, you don't know whether to take a raincoat, a winter coat, just a sweater. It's just yucky. It's good weather to, unfortunately, eat and binge and eat some more and eat some more and all of the indoor activities that everybody says that they want to do and should be doing, we're not doing because that bag of potato chips is sitting on the counter just calling your name. But we'll get through the weather and all the awful things that are going on in the world and sad and tragic and everything. But Debbie and I always seem to solve all of the world's problems, and that's why we're called Soup to Nuts. So let's get at it.
You know what, Shelley? I'd just like to mention that the name, we came up with the name because we wanted to talk about everything. So Soup to Nuts makes sense.
It does. It does.
But on the other hand, I'm thinking maybe I'm soup and you're nuts.
I'm thinking you might be right.
Actually.
Or it should be nuts and nuts.
Yeah, right. No kidding. Actually, my family thinks I'm a little crazy. And what they call me, very often I'll say something and everybody looks at me with a blank stare. I think Shelley's the only one that really gets me.
That's scary.
But yeah.
Very scary.
Yeah. But they call me Dibby. My family calls me Dibby, and they'll say, Dibby's here. And they all look at each other and laugh. So
Could
I feel
be
a little
worse.
left out. Yep. So
Could
I'm
be
bringing
worse.
you into my world.
I am not giving my nickname that I had ever. That they're all bad. I wouldn't share them with anybody.
Oh, really? Well,
No.
I don't think Dibby's a nice one.
I think that is a nice one.
Oh, you do?
I do think that's a nice one.
So when you tripped and someone would say, Dibby, hey, Dibby, instead of Debbie,
I'm
I'm thinking,
that's
I
still
tripped.
better than some of the nicknames I've had growing up.
I won't ask you, Shell.
Don't. I won't.
Well, I would continue to use it. So that's
I
not too
won't give
fair
them.
to you.
And only my college roommate, Ella, knows for sure where all the skeletons are buried. So,
Good old Ella.
well, she's in the witness protection program. So I can talk about her and I should be relatively safe. But in terms of cooking and things like that, I just have to mention something. I know everybody orders things on Amazon. It's so easy and it's just a beautiful thing. But how many times do you rely on, okay, so I wanted to order this blender. Do you go to all the blogs or opinions that people write? So I wanted to know, does this particular blender puree? Now, do I want to rely on Sally in Gary, Indiana, saying it is the best puree blender? Or do I just kind of want to wing it or not get it at all? I mean, do you rely on those blogs?
What I usually do is I find the one that I like, and then I get off of Amazon, and I just put it out there on the web, and I'll say, what are the reviews on this blender? And you usually end up with Consumer Reports or a Good Housekeeping, and then you can see that it's a good blender, and then you can go back on and purchase it.
But I specifically needed to know if this blender did puree.
Well, that's...
And the only one that commented was Cindy in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, really?
So there's many things wrong with that, but she really didn't answer. It was a very long explanation. It didn't involve puree. So
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Oh, you could put out there, what blender can I puree with? And then you
I could have done
see if that, yeah.
But I was already on Amazon, and I liked the color of this
know.
blender. And
So did you order it off Amazon?
no, I
You
didn't.
ordered it off of one of their suppliers?
I didn't order a blender at all because I've decided I just don't need to puree.
Okay.
I just don't
Well, you
need
could
to
do
puree.
it like Lucy Ball.
Yes,
Just sip in the grapes,
exactly.
puree whatever you want.
And I have, you know what? It's funny because we had a neighbor where I currently live. The neighbor's no longer there. They're still alive, but they just moved. But they used to make wine, and we used to stomp on it barefoot. And it was pure Italian red wine, no sulfites or anything.
Wow.
But I'll tell you, we would stomp, and you'd be lucky if you'd end up with a small glass full. So there were a lot of good things about it.
Pretty good aerobic for you.
It was a good workout.
Yeah.
You didn't drink as much, and it was better for you. So
and you certainly washed your feet before you went in. Maybe
no.
not. Maybe not. I forgot who I was talking to, Shelley.
If you're not going to have sulfites, you're going to have something.
Yeah.
So I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, I would think that they would have it right there before you stepped in
You
the
would
tub.
think. You know what? You would think. If you ever had the difference with wine without sulfites is tremendous. That's how they drink it in Europe and everything. You just get it out of a big vat.
You don't get a headache.
Nope. You get it out of a big vat. And I said, now I know why everybody in Europe drinks wine for breakfast and gives it to their kids and everything.
That's
It just makes such a big difference.
Yes.
So I could care less, don't want to care about the Super Bowl, but it's coming up this Sunday. Does that do anything for you?
Well, around my house, absolutely. I mean, we start talking about the Super Bowl maybe a week ahead of time. And we make sure that it's recorded because we're going to a Super Bowl party. So we not only have to watch it at the party, we have it on.
But does anybody
DVD.
really watch it? I remember a million years ago when I slightly cared about it. You'd go to a party and nobody was watching it. The noise level was high. People were stuffing their face and had dip all over their shirts, and nobody was really watching it.
Yeah,
and the next day they asked, they would go online and say, who won?
Yeah.
So there was not a lot of attention.
Yeah. This group does. This group watches TV, and it's right in the guys mostly. That sounds sexist. I'm sure there are lots of girls that love football. What I like about the Super Bowl party is I like the commercials. They always call me in for the commercials and the appetizers because everybody puts on their best. So
I guess.
Yeah, there's so many
I just know
appetizers that
it's all about dips.
Oh.
Speaking of dippy. No,
okay. That's Dibby.
Oh.
That's Dibby.
Oops. My bad. I thought you said dippy. I was going to say, boy, that tied right in. No wonder you like it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
57 kinds of dip, which I can't really don't do that many dips anymore, but I would love to. But they don't always sit well or match my shirt. Because you know how much you spill on your shirt, which is
that's true.
Huge part of it.
Yep.
So you're going to be making appetizers?
I am. I started thinking back of when my mother used to make appetizers and the kinds of appetizers they used to make that they thought were really good. And do you remember the ham roll-ups? Cream cheese in the middle and onion and
I could eat me some hand roll-ups. Back a million years ago when I was eating that kind of food, I could polish off a dozen ham roll-ups.
Oh, yeah.
And then tell everybody that the plate fell off the table.
Oh, yeah. All right.
She says, well, how come we don't see any on the floor? And I went, you must have a dog.
Yeah, that's right.
You must, or two. I could eat me some ham roll-ups.
Yeah,
they were good.
And when I would go anywhere with my parents, it was like, keep your hands off of that. Don't you go running over there. And for the most part, they kept the kids away from the food. I used to think that. And you know what?
If you wanted anything left,
we got hot
you did.
dogs. Everybody else had briskets. And we had to sit at a little card table. What was that all about?
I think that was age discrimination.
I do, too.
I think you should have gotten a lawyer.
I do, too. I didn't like hot dogs.
Do you think the statute of limitations has run on that?
I think so. Oh, yeah. Way over.
I was going to say, because if it's not too late, you know, we could just wrap this up right here and you could go get a lawyer.
My mom would always serve shrimp. And that was such a expensive thing to serve back then. So it was hard to keep people away. You know, everybody, the people that arrived early, they polish it off.
Right. So that's the beauty of getting there early.
She wouldn't bring it out. She wouldn't bring it out until everyone arrived. And then she'd keep the kids away.
Right.
Because the kids will just
Well, that's what everybody says. If they know there's a good party, it's just like on Halloween. You'd want to leave early and you'd want to go to the house that you knew had the best stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lady in our neighborhood who had homemade candy apples, and I think I was at her house at 2:00.
Did she make the caramel ones or the red ones?
She had them all, and they were wonderful. And if you didn't get there early enough, they were gone.
Oh,
and like
really?
I said, I think I'd be at her house by 2 or 3 o'clock. It was still light out. She says, no, it doesn't count when you're in your pajamas. it could have been a Halloween costume. Pajamas
that's
could have
right.
been a Halloween costume.
Yeah, right.
But, it's you learn those things growing up, and it's not that we're going to talk about back in the day or anything, but, you did learn to get someplace early if you wanted all the stuff. Same with at home. There were 5 of us growing up in a little bungalow house, and there was one hand towel. And you got to into the bathroom quick, in out of the shower quick if you wanted a dry towel.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And there was
Hand towel or bath towel? Did you? Was it
medium
enough to cover
size?
your body? It covered your body to dry off.
Medium sized.
Okay.
I think I was just happy that there was a dry towel in there. But it's the things you share when you're growing up, when there's a bunch of people living in the same house. And nowadays, everybody's got 2 and 3 ovens and 2 and 3 refrigerators and their own set of towels and everything, and just double, triple, quadruple of everything.
Yeah.
And things did change. They definitely did change. I don't know if for the better, or it seems that there's, especially with the big box stores, less place to put things.
Yeah, less places. But we're a disposable society, too. We don't try and fix anything. We just pitch it, that sort of thing. So
that's absolutely
true. Kids have twice as many clothes. My daughter always has something in the washer, always has something in the dryer, always has stuff in the baskets. The kids have to sort and take their own clothes, fold them up themselves.
It teaches them laundry etiquette,
Yeah.
So being somewhat philosophical, we obviously keep the topics light, and we reminisce, and we talk about silly things. Once again, the soup to nuts. If you could hack anybody's computer, living or dead, of course, the dead ones probably didn't have computers. If you go way back, who would it be? Somebody that you would
you've got to be kidding.
Yes, somebody, I would think.
Probably this person that everybody out there would like to hack.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
How did you come up with Amazon?
That's right.
And what comes ahead in the future?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe NASA, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking, somebody connected to the stock market, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
So who's that guy, the richest guy that's always Warren Buffett?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to hack the same computer?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Okay, fine. Well, then I'll be right back.
No.
I'll be right back. Get to it definitely before you.
I wanted to get back just a second. I just wanted to tell you one little story about the kids folding laundry. Yeah, I know. Where's our sound effect? Yeah.
Sound effects, it's happening.
Shelley just fell asleep, and here I am, Tibby, just going on and on. What my grandkids, they fooled their mom, and they were folding all the laundry, and they like to perform anyway. And she came walking into the room, and they were all singing, "It's a hard knocks life for us." Went through the whole verses. I mean, it was quite a thing.
Funny.
She taped some of it. They didn't really like that. And you don't call it tape.
Well, you want to be able to throw it back in their faces years down the road.
That's
years
right.
down the road.
Really? That's
absolutely.
So
they still had to fold the laundry.
About.
No, I was going to say they still had to fold the laundry.
They
didn't buy him a pass.
I didn't ever have to do that, but I was one. My mother did everything, and sometimes I would just not want to fold the clothes again, so I put it down the laundry chute.
Just rewash them.
Yeah.
Just
and my mom would say, "I just washed that. I know."
That was what we used to call. That's what we call nowadays rebooting.
Yeah. Or cleaning your room. Yep.
Rebooting. So, the big trend, and one that I love and advocate and do implement, is the stand-up desk. Love it. And I remember when I first saw one years ago at a friend's house, and I walked by and I said, "Oh, this is going to be sent back because the legs are too tall."
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a stand-up desk. So I do have one at work and absolutely love it. So you could stand up, you sit in your regular chair or anything. But the other day they were talking about people jumping on the bandwagon, any kind of bandwagon. And they're coming up now with a stand-up stool.
Really?
A stand-up stool. So part of me is thinking, okay, wherever you are, if you're at work, and sometimes at home, it's kind of like a bar stool. You're just on this tall stool wheeling around. And all I could think about was this, first of all, screams danger. Second of all, it just kind of reminded me of being on a unicycle,
Oh,
which
I've never been on one, so
I
but that
tried.
makes sense.
I tried a unicycle once and only once, and it's very hard.
Yeah.
Just make a note to yourself. It's
Okay.
very hard,
Okay.
and no amount of padding or helmets or anything is going to make a bit of difference.
See, that's how I used to feel with stilts. Did you ever walk around
Oh, my
on stilts?
gosh.
I'd run up and down the street in stilts. Now
No.
the thought of getting on stilts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, but I remember, of course, it could be any big city, when there's some type of, when you're near like their cultural center or something. I remember going with a girlfriend to Toronto, and they had guys dressed up as, I don't even.
Clowns, probably, long
Yeah,
legs. And
yeah, with the long coats on
Yeah.
the stilts walking around.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh my God, that's just amazing. Who would want to do that?
Yeah.
But then when you think about it, you look at all these new homes with the tall ceilings. The guys are on stilts doing the drywall.
But it's got some rungs in between.
Well, that would be a good job for
Yeah.
you. There's no way. I would have to say, look, you're in a ranch and I'm using a ladder the
Yeah.
old-fashioned way.
Yeah. I'd use a pogo stick.
I would. Have you ever used a pogo stick? I think I've done
loved
that.
it. Once again, I did that up and down the streets of Royal
Could you
Oak.
do stairs with them?
No.
Okay.
No. You mean like a slinky? No, I wasn't that good. Not on the pogo
I would be
stick.
impressed.
Yeah.
I would be impressed if you did pogo. Of course, then you'd be on America's Got Talent.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
And you would probably win. I'm not sure if Simon Cowell would like that or not.
Probably not.
No,
That doesn't sound like his.
He's lost his sense of humor. I
He
think.
has, yeah.
He seems to have
Yeah.
lost his sense of humor.
Yeah.
So we've decided we would hack Warren Buffett's computer and get all the scoop and everything. And all right, so we're getting a little maybe deep here, but if you found out some things that could make you potentially, and we're using him as an example, whoever computer you have, make you filthy, filthy rich with all these phenomenal tips on there, would you do it?
Well,
Or
first
would
of all,
you-
if you've hacked the computer,
Yes.
more than likely the person that would hack the computer would also use that information.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. If you hacked the computer and you saw all the tips that could make you filthy rich, and he had all his little secrets in there, is everything that's possible that he knows, would you
mean
take advantage
personal
of it?
stuff? Personal?
No, to make you rich.
I
wouldn't either.
I wouldn't hack the computer to begin with, but
Okay.
it's hard for me to put myself
Yes.
in that position. But now you're saying if you create you
If
do a felony, if you have a felony, would you
Okay, now another-
say yes to someone robbing the bank again?
No, I mean his stock tips.
Oh, yeah,
That's what I
still, I
meant.
wouldn't do it. I just
No.
wouldn't,
And
feel
yes,
right about it.
It is. It absolutely would be a felony. So I guess that'd be an attorney for your. All right. So your
Yeah.
child
So you're
abuse, upbringing, and now this.
You're asking me if I would be a criminal, really, when you boil it down.
No, it was a little bit more. Just kind of, if I won the lottery, what would I
okay.
do?
Oh, well, that's different.
Well, that's.
You purchased the ticket with the whole dollar. You didn't steal the ticket.
All right, we've gone into the ethics portion of the program
sir.
today. So I guess
On my honor, I will do my
hacking a
best.
computer would be more if you had access to the stuff. So we've gotten into the ethics portion of the program, which is soup to nuts. So I guess that would fall under nuts.
Yeah, not logical, probably.
Not nuts at all.
Yeah.
And speaking of ethics, is it ethical to tell somebody, I'm at the store minding my own business, buying some things, and I ran into somebody I hadn't seen in a while, and we're talking, and she says, by the way, you've got some lint on your face. So she goes to wipe the lint, and I says, I'll get it. Over here? She goes, no, a little bit lower. Oh, no, over there. And I thought, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I standing for 5 minutes, poking myself all over the face, trying to find what she was talking about.
Yeah.
I should have let her do it probably to begin with.
Well,
But I think it's a game that people play. They say
you
no
think
lower.
so?
No, over there.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
probably didn't even have anything on
Yeah.
my face.
Yeah, my husband does that. Sip out of this. Again, get closer, and then I get water in the face. So, not funny in my house. They call me Dibby when I do that. But you know what? I think that's just not nice.
I kind of think I kind of think it is. I mean, stuff like that's funny. Like, starting when somebody's trying to open the car door and you're just gutting it and stopping and gunning it and stopping.
You think that's funny. But
I
you're
do.
probably never the recipient, you see.
No.
If you're the recipient, not funny.
No, it's not funny. Yeah, it's not funny if you're the recipient.
And I am. I am usually the recipient. It's like Lucy and
Ethel.
Yeah, no.
Ricky.
Linus, when you hold the football, she holds the football, and every year Charlie Brown thinks she's not going to pull it out. No, I won't pull it out. I won't pull it out. And then she does.
And what does she always say?
Arr,
yes.
Yeah.
Now you have to write it out.
Right.
A million H's.
Yeah. My husband talks about his sister. They used to do little taste things. And she would always end up giving him horseradish. Now, she's 3 years older.
Oh.
So he was maybe 7 at the time. She was 10. And this time she would say, I'm not going to give you horseradish. I promise. And sure enough, he put it in his mouth, and he'd bite it, spit it out. And he said, you said you weren't going to. Well, I had my toes crossed. I had my fingers crossed. She crossed everything.
If you've crossed your fingers, it doesn't count.
But, when you're 7-year-old, you believe your sister.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
She wouldn't do it till she really said she wouldn't do it this time. I think they stopped playing that game.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think to this day, does he eat horseradish?
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. I don't think he knows there's horseradish in cocktail sauce. We just don't tell him.
Some things are better left kept a secret.
That's right.
So we've decided that a few things. We haven't really solved any problems today, but what about this one? Recently, I saw on the news that Japanese billionaire is looking for a woman to go to the moon with him. Did you see that?
No.
He's a Japanese billionaire, and he put it out there. He's looking for, I think he said, a life partner, a woman who's smart, can survive the training involved, and he wants to take her to the moon with him.
She must be very, very, very rich as well.
He's picking up the tab.
Oh, he is?
He's picking up the tab.
Wow.
And he didn't say, I want to marry her. He didn't say, we're going to have babies.
What did he say?
He wants her to go to the moon, and she's got to be able to I think he's just looking for somebody. It's like when you sit next to somebody on a plane who's entertaining.
Yeah.
It makes a trip no pun intended, it makes a trip go by faster, and it makes it enjoyable. I think he's just looking for a companion, and he kind of said, I'm looking for a companion, but I'm a billionaire, and not a lot of women would do this. But he wants her funny. He wants her smart so she can talk about things because he's very smart. And I can't remember how he made all his money or what he's involved with, but he's smart and he wants to go to the moon. And he put this out there that he's looking for a woman to go with him.
Nothing about how she looks. Nothing about.
He did not say
just
that.
All had to be funny and
smart. And survive the
rigors. So then he
grueling
knows she's going to be well trained. So
yes.
That's another thing.
Well, she'll be, what's the word they used to use?
Fit.
Sturdy?
Oh, sturdy.
No.
Yes.
No.
I can't.
I almost said stout.
Hefty? I don't know.
No, it was like sturdy. It was always like they were describing like oxen or something when they says, oh, you got this woman. I'm not talking for childbearing, but wasn't it sturdy?
No. It was something else, I think.
It was where there were.
Sturdy's good enough.
Or hardy?
Hardy.
Okay.
It's hardy.
Hardy, sturdy. I knew it ended with a Y.
She's very hardy.
It wasn't.
Which meant
it wasn't surly.
No, that's a ugly kind of thing.
I know. It was dippy.
Nah. Stop saying dip. It's dib. Dibby. Like instead of Debbie, it's dibby.
So I'm thinking this guy, I mean, how do you vet the person? So you whittle it down to 1,000 people or something, because I'm sure a lot were interested.
Oh, yeah. And I think I would know how he would vet. Has nothing to do with
I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm listening
nothing to do with what he was asking for.
I'm listening for a friend. How would he vet to know that she would be smart?
Oh, uh-huh.
And
well, he'd get all the smart, sturdy women that he could, and then he would go on looks.
And
they're all funny. They're all sturdy.
Okay.
They're all hefty. No, not hefty.
No, then they might have problem with the weight load. I worry as it is on the jet when you see heavy people coming on. But I mean, to vet somebody and then to go up there and I can't imagine. They didn't say how long it would take, or what if they decide to stay there. They discover
Yeah.
that they didn't say how long it would take. But wouldn't that be a drag to be halfway to the moon and go,
He'd know ahead
not
of
so
time.
funny.
Yeah.
Not so smart.
I don't think this is a 3-second thing like you do at those tables to get to know somebody.
But you
3 seconds
still
move.
get up there. I mean, when you're spending all this time and you pass all the tests and you get halfway up there, I mean, I don't think there's a button you push to jettison out there.
He may have
But
one.
I thought it was interesting because
It is. Yeah, very.
for somebody to be in that position, don't you already kind of know somebody that might want to go with you?
Yeah. Yeah,
You not have any
if I was
friends?
the woman, I think I'd worry. Why doesn't he have any friends?
Yeah. No
Is there
friends.
something real weird about him, and I'm going to be stuck up in the
Family?
moon?
And then, it just can make your mind kind of run crazy on it. And if it does go really well, he'll just tell him to do another lap around the moon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I
Take
don't know,
your
it's funny.
time. Take your time driving back. Take your time. I'm in no hurry. This
That's
is
right.
going great.
Yeah. This
Refuel.
date is wonderful.
Yeah, refuel in space or something. But it's interesting, I guess.
Yes. When's he planning on leaving?
You interested?
I,
See?
yeah, well, a little
I
bit,
could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell it piqued your interest, and you're probably going to want to know what movie's playing,
Yes.
what movie is going to be playing,
Yes.
what they're going to be
important stuff.
serving.
Yeah.
Is
What
there
kind of wine?
is there a bar cart?
It's very important. That's a very important thing. Is it red wine or white wine?
Is there a bar cart? And how often does it come up and down the aisle? Well, I don't know if they even have an aisle there. But then whenever, I don't know. I guess everything would just be floating in the air.
Yeah. What
Gotta
about
catch
craft
it.
beers? I like craft beers.
I guess you would have to ask him,
Yeah.
before. But there's a lot of questions I think that the
Yeah.
woman should have.
Actually, I'd like to bring my keg. Do you think that would be allowed? With the spigot. And
I think once he approves you, I think you could pretty much bring your
Oh,
therapy pig.
All my kids?
No, your therapy pig or a therapy giraffe or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe that's what it is. Well, you know what? I'm going back to one of the appetizers that my mom used to have for the Super Bowl. Very simple. You used to roll the little tiny mini hot dog up in some kind of biscuit
Okay.
dough, and that was it. Dipped it in ketchup. It would be put on the table. So little kind of wiener wraps and ketchup. Bump. All right, here she goes again. I'm scoring not well here. Or chips and dip. Chips and dip. That's another one. Okay, I'm done. Go ahead, Shelley.
No. But just let me know the next time you're bringing appetizers to a party, and I think I'll be busy that day taking back my returnables.
Yeah, there you go.
I think so.
What about Valentine's Day? That's coming
What
up.
about it?
Yeah.
Now that's a good question.
Yeah.
What?
Do you expect gifts?
No,
don't?
nor should anybody expect any from me. Nothing.
Is it
nothing.
important to you, though?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So it means nothing.
Not really. No. Now, if we had a day off of work, but we don't.
Okay, that would be a nice
then
Valentine's gift.
that would be a wonderful Valentine's gift. That would be the happy Valentine's Day to me.
Uh-huh.
To
There
me.
we go. There we go. I had a friend just recently give me, and it was heartfelt, and made me feel so good. It was just a little heart with some candies in it, and she put one of those Valentines we used to do as kids, Be Mine
yes.
Valentine.
Yes.
I thought, gosh, remember how you used to feel as a kid?
Those were huge because if you had a crush on somebody in class
Yeah.
and they picked out, of course, everybody had their grubby little hands in those, and they gave you one. And I remember they used to have one. They shouldn't have ever put anything mean on those. Wasn't there one that said "bug off" or something?
Oh, yeah. Well, they got into that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
It
You
got
look like you should be in the
nasty.
movies, horror movies. There were
I don't
a
think there was
lot of
that much
those kinds.
room on my little candy. I said, "Oh, turn over
Oh, you're
Flip
talking about
over.
on the candies. I thought you meant on the cards.
on the little candy."
Oh, yeah. No, those were like- They Bug Off was one?
I think it was.
I thought it was all lovely stuff.
I
Maybe
think
it was a
was.
special little funny that somebody pulled on.
I don't know, but I remember there was one. Oh, it may not have been Bug Off. It may have been something else. Could have been, gosh, it was something off, like bug off or just something that was just very, very, leave me alone, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. Wasn't there one that said shut up?
No.
Leave me alone.
I've never seen those.
I went to a nasty school. It
You
was a
must
tough
have.
school. I'm telling you.
Royal Oak was a real
It was a tough crowd.
Yeah.
It was a tough school, that's for sure. Jeez. There were some, though, that weren't that nice, that were on the little candies.
Okay. I don't remember that.
All yours were nice?
Yeah. Maybe that's just because they were giving them to me.
Okay.
Maybe
None
they
of them
picked
said-
out all those horrible ones.
None of them said, you're so nice, Dippy. But
Yeah. No, they did not say that.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I always wondered as a kid if they wrote themselves the cards. You know, there's always that person that has 52 cards sitting on, and there's only 15.
Did you have
kids
to
in
do
the
a
class.
box on your desk, too, and decorate the box?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then somebody
Yeah.
would try and go by and put it in and not have you
That's
notice or
right.
something. Remember that box you had to
Yeah, that's
decorate?
right. Yes.
And
yeah.
then now and then you pick it up and shake it. I don't
I
hear much
have
in there. I don't hear much in
52.
there.
52 in mine. Yep, those were fun times. I get flowers. Don't you get flowers?
No.
No.
No, I don't like flowers anyway. I don't
Oh,
I don't
do.
want them. I don't get them, and I don't know. If I were asked, I would say, give me a living plant, something I can put in the ground, and
Yeah.
maybe it'll last, and hopefully it will last. But no, Valentine's Day. I don't know. I think it's maybe a Hallmark holiday.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Or
Absolutely.
FTD. Do they still have FTD florists and
Yeah.
things like that?
Yeah, I know it is. It is. I have a romantic husband. So, yeah, he does do Valentine's. Oh!
I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
not that
I'm
boring.
apologizing to everybody out here. This we're
I guess I'm Dibby today. Ah.
I must have hit the Dullard app on here. I don't know where I hit it.
Okay, now you're starting to hurt my feelings. Okay, let's talk about winter sports.
Let's do it.
Okay, what do you do for the winter? What kind of sports do you play?
Well, when we do have snow, when we do have winter, I pretty much like everything. I don't ice skate too much anymore, but I pretty much like everything.
Yeah,
Snowshoeing.
snowshoeing.
What do you think? Now, we have the Olympics coming up, right?
Is it this coming year? This coming?
But
no, it's next year, right?
Okay, and is it? It's. Ooh, I hate to say it. I know isn't it Tokyo?
I don't.
It's
know
summer
for
or
sure.
winter Olympics?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I won't even pretend to know for sure.
Do you watch Olympics?
Always.
Then how do you not know what's coming?
When it's on
You can't
TV,
say-
I sit down and I root for everybody. No, I like the opening ceremonies.
Oh, yes.
But I don't. It's not something I look forward to necessarily, but I really enjoy when I watch it.
You, that reminds me. I did see something. I want to say, it's Summer Olympics. Don't quote me. It's hard. It's I'm lucky to
Remember what you were saying?
Yes. I'm lucky to yeah. Let me give my head a shake. No, they were talking on TV about some new sports that they were going to be putting in the Olympics.
Oh yeah.
And
pickleball. Wasn't pickleball one?
I don't think pickleball was, but there was gosh,
It's a bobsled sport, I think, some sort, right?
well,
maybe
it's
with-
either going to be winter or summer. So bobsled would be
yeah,
winter.
Yeah, it would be.
No, I want to say it was summer, and one of them was rock climbing. I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah, I think I did hear that.
I'm pretty sure it was rock climbing.
Yeah.
Now, going back to the old footage, back in with the sports, you talk about the agony of defeat.
Yeah.
Now, when I was,
Are we talking FEET here?
woo,
Yeah.
no, I mean, you're rappelling down a, fun to watch, but how long can you watch somebody? I don't like to go to the gym and watch them do the rock wall at the gym. It's slow.
Yeah.
It's tedious, and I hate to say this,
Yeah.
but it really doesn't get your attention until they slip.
And
Just
then
saying.
you do have the
Just
agony
saying.
of defeat.
You definitely do. But I mean, it's kind of slow. There was another one. there might have been a martial arts. I want to say is it skateboarding is in there or something. There was another one.
Skateboarding is not a martial art.
No, there was martial arts and I think
Oh.
skateboarding, but they were introducing some new sports. So I'm just thinking, I wasn't pleased. Obviously, I didn't retain them, so I
Yeah.
wasn't pleased with the choice.
Yeah.
But are there any sports that you think would be fun to watch in the Olympics that maybe haven't been in or that have been in and you just really, really don't like to miss?
I think maybe chess. Sorry.
Oh, now
Had to say it.
chess.
I think pogo sticking.
You know what? I would watch pogo sticking.
Yeah. Think how high you could get if you got the right kind of pogo stick.
I would watch pogo sticking, and I think I would watch stilts. Now, if you take the stilts and you combine that, remember potato sack races, typically with
Yes,
husband and
yes,
wives or
yes,
significant
yes.
others? What if you did stilts with racing people on stilts? Now, I might watch that. That would be funny.
Blindfolded.
Okay. All right, let's, through mud, through water.
Can you make it to the other side of the lake? Oops, no.
Well, it's like all those things that are still popular. But remember all those adventure races, the warrior this, the warrior that?
Yes.
I did one, and I just remember this one in particular, where at the end, I mean, you've gone through all these obstacles, and they are fun and everything, but at the very end, no, it wasn't the very end. I think there were 2 left after that. You had to crawl underneath wires that would shock you, like electrocute you.
You
Like like touching an electric wire that keeps cows in.
Wow.
And it got to the end, and actually, I didn't do that race. I was helping there. I was volunteering, so I was positioned near that obstacle
Oh
and
my
near
gosh.
another obstacle.
Oh my God.
I just got to tell you, I've never laughed so hard in my life. People,
They're digging holes. I would be digging a hole.
when they got zapped, and they'd get through, and they thought they made it, and they'd get up a little too soon, and bzz.
Oh,
And I mean, and it gives you a good point. It is like an electric fence that
but
keeps
it's not
horses
a
in.
burn. It's not. Doesn't burn you.
I didn't ask because they were covered in mud, but when
Okay.
I saw that, I said, "Now, what? Seriously?"
Here you're coming toward the finish line. You're going to zap somebody.
Well, it was 2 before the finish line because it was. I think it was strictly for entertainment purposes. But I stood there and watched them, and I thought, now these obstacle races, they're fun.
Yes,
I did
yes,
one. I had a
yes,
blast. They're
yes.
tough.
Yes.
They're fun. But what person was sitting around thinking, we've got mud, and we've got log rolling, which you had to roll the logs.
Mhm.
We had to climb over these things. We had to jump in and out of nets. We had to run through fire for real. I did that, and I
Wow.
remember the sole of my shoe came off.
Oh, boy.
So we had all these things, but somebody was sitting around going, if we could just electrocute these people,
Yeah, right.
that would really be a good
Yeah,
obstacle.
yeah.
And then that's bad enough, but the people sitting around going,
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Go.
good.
Yeah, go.
Oh my God, yes. And that one wire, I think they had to go somewhere. They were all different heights.
Oh, my gosh.
And some were dangling.
Oh, my gosh.
Not just one wire. I think they had to go through 10 of them.
Oh, my
And some were
gosh.
really low to the ground, so everybody tried to
Oh,
make
yeah,
themselves
no, I would
skinny.
Not
No.
do that. Would not do that.
Well,
But you know what I
it
am
was
going
funny.
to do? I'm going to do one in September. It's inflatables.
Awesome.
A 5K inflatable. So you have to go and get up on one of those slides, inflatable slide, and go down
Awesome.
it. Then you get in a bouncy house, and you have to do something in there.
Do they hose them down so they're slippery? Or
I
do they
don't
put
know.
oil in
I
them?
know nothing about it. I'm just going to sign up for it with
Fun.
some friends. Maybe you,
Fun.
Shelley. Maybe you'd like to do it.
I think I'm wanted in surgery that day. Okay, so that reminds me of the slip and slide that we had some neighbors do a slip and slide, and they thought they were so funny. You may or may not recall, they put cooking oil on theirs. Do you remember that?
No. It was water when I was there with a hose.
Oh, so it's when I showed up. Hang on. Note to self,
Yeah.
cooking oil. I shot across there. I mean, you couldn't have picked me up. The airport couldn't have picked me up on air traffic control. I was going the speed of sound.
Yeah.
I think I did break the sound barrier, so I will make a note. They did put dish soap on there, too, that made it super, super, super slippery. But now, how do you train for an inflatable race?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll get my cut right wax paper and slide down a slide. Remember when you used to do that? Wax
No.
paper and
No.
sit on it? No.
I remember we
That made
ironed
the
leaves
slide
in
go
wax paper, but I never sat on wax paper deliberately and went outside. Unless I was being punished.
No, not on a slide? No?
No.
Okay. All right, that's just mine,
Well,
I guess.
I mean, so how many obstacles do you think there are?
I don't know. I really, truly have not read anything more than it's at Stony Creek in September. So I will absolutely look into it because I think that would be fun.
I think
that would
On
be a lot of
TV
fun.
should go out there and cover you since
Oh.
you are a.
I don't think you travel. That's when I would be Dibby for sure.
Because those are the funniest things. And at the
they
very
are.
least, you might make, and I can't believe it's still on TV, but it's one of my favorite shows, America's Funniest Videos.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe one of these days you will win what is $100,000, the big prize?
Yeah. Doing what?
You're doing the inflatable
Oh.
race.
Okay, that could happen.
It's always the one at the finish line. I remember the one that I did. The fire was at the finish line, and that's where they want to take all the pictures and stuff. And you're jumping through fire, and you think, "Oh gosh, this is going to look, this is going to look so impressive." I mean, what? I am something else. I could hardly stand myself. And then when I looked at the picture, the sole of my shoe was hanging down, and where the mud was caked was not a good look. My pants were just trashed. It was not good. But that's, but were they going to have electricity at the inflatables?
I don't know. I don't.
You better
know.
check.
You know what? You keep asking me. I have no idea.
You just
I'll
go,
let you know
okay,
next time.
I'll go.
This past summer, we had Olympics in the neighborhood, and we did it as teams.
Mhm.
So the team I was on, one of the events that we had to do was go down a slippery slide. Well, I know how to do that.
So you
But
mean
it was
like a slip and slide, the one that I had oil on? Okay.
Yes, the one you had oil on.
Okay.
This
The
was
only
just
one that
water.
had oil.
Yeah, water, but there were a few rocks in there. I kind of wondered about those. But my team, everybody's supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So all the men went first. There was one other woman that went. I get up there, and all the guys are at the bottom of the thing going, "We got you, Debbie. We got you. Don't worry about it."
Oh, you think
Don't
they could
worry about-"
stop you?
Well, for heaven's sakes, no. I didn't want to be the one that didn't do it because they don't think I
Making
can.
a note to myself, I know now why she's called Dippy. No, I mean, you're coming out of there, and they actually, you knew they'd move out of the way. You had to know they'd move out of the way.
No.
Oh.
No. No, actually, they didn't. They were worried about me coming down.
Well,
That's when I felt old. I've never really felt old, but that made me feel old. They're all in their 40s.
Oh, well, those darn kids.
Yeah.
Things that make you feel old.
Yeah.
But all things considered, I mean, some things can make you feel old, like putting on your socks. Flying down a slip and slide on a huge, now I'm going to make it sound like a ski slope, a huge hill, doesn't make you feel old.
No.
That's good.
But they
That's
didn't want
young
me to do it
thinking.
because they thought I was.
But well, yeah. Did they do it?
Actually, Shelley, I fibbed.
I don't believe it.
I didn't go down.
I didn't think
No,
so. I didn't think so.
I didn't go down because.
Wait,
Oh, now we're lying here.
yeah, now we're going to hit the gong.
Yeah. No,
It's soup
didn't
to
do it.
nuts and also a few fibs. Just
Not
a few
lies.
fibs.
Fibs are when you tell the truth after. You lie at first and then you tell the truth. So it's just a fib then. Didn't know the difference, Shelley?
So fibs are okay.
Yeah.
Well, fibs are okay. It's like somebody comes into work and they might have a bruise, or like me, I had lint on my face, and they say, "Oh, it's right there. No, it's over there. No, it's over." And you might have a little bruise. They say, "How'd you get that?" And don't you always want to just take a minute and say, I was hanging from the trapeze, and I was doing a triple Lundy off of there, and landed poorly
Yeah.
through the flaming hoop.
Yeah, right. Oh.
Misjudged, didn't stick the landing. I mean, don't you always want to come up with something
Well,
creative
yeah.
as opposed
I
to?
don't think they let you go on that long, though. I think you say one funny thing, like a short. But funny
That's the
thing.
problem.
Yeah, they start falling.
That's a problem. No, actually, there was a lot of eye rolling, so I went on too long. It was probably too much. I should have just said. I just should have started and ended with "I fell from the trapeze."
Yeah, there. Period.
I should have.
Yeah, that would
Actually,
make a lot more
that
sense.
would have then opening the cabinet door in the bathroom too quick.
Yeah.
Or
of
that
those
one,
two.
I
One of-
could have done that. I could have said open the cabinet door too quick and turned that into an Olympic event.
There you go.
Bingo! We've got
We
an
need a
Olympic
one.
event.
Now, who do we write?
I don't know who's in
Yeah,
charge of the
I don't
Olympics.
I
Who's
guess if we
Miss-
knew what country was hosting,
Yes.
we
And
might.
if it was summer or winter, we will crack that.
Oh yeah.
We will solve that
As
problem.
soon
And
as
I
we
think
leave here, I'll be googling it.
oh, I'm on it.
You're on it.
The
Okay.
next Soup to Nuts, we will talk about Olympics and sports
Okay.
that should be in there and should not
Yeah.
be in
Oh,
there.
good idea.
I mean, everybody has seen somebody do something, and just think they were absolutely brilliant doing it. And how many times have you said to somebody, now that should be an Olympic sport?
Never. I'm going to hang you out there.
And I am hanging out there. That could be us hanging out there,
Yeah,
which
yeah, right.
I've perfected that. I think I've made that into an Olympic sport,
You know,
hanging out there.
Yeah. I used to love winter sports. I used to love to skate. I skated everywhere.
Skating's good.
It is good. And I thought I got real good at figure eights. I may have told you this. I don't know. What happens when you're on the show and you become redundant? Do you tell me that I'm saying it again? I was skating and I had maybe a little bit of
What
blackberry
show?
brandy. Yeah.
What show?
So, drinking my blackberry brandy and doing a figure eight, and I landed on my shoulder.
Oh.
And I went in, and I
was-
went to the hospital.
It was 5 feet higher than the other shoulder.
Yeah, that's right. And they x-rayed it. They said, oh, no, it's a sprain. And I said to my husband, if this is a sprain, I can't believe I'm in this much pain for a sprain. Well, in the middle of the night, they called us, and they said, oh, get off that heat.
We actually had a doctor look at your
We
x-rays,
had a
and
radiologist look at it, and it's
we need to
broken.
give you some updated info.
Yeah.
It's fractured in 74 places.
And my reaction, instead of saying, oh, no, I said, well, thank goodness. Now everybody knows how much pain I was. I wasn't a weenie. That was more important to me than the actual break. That they thought I was being brave.
Did you go out and skate the next day?
No.
No.
I skated after I fell.
But
I
you didn't do a
skated
figure eight.
No. I thought it was Dorothy Hill. Really.
Yeah, well,
truly.
you know, we all do.
Yeah.
We all do. And how can you not when you've got the old white ice skates and tied up and
Yeah.
ankle supports on?
Yeah. Remember ankle supports? Do they still have those?
I don't
I think
know.
they probably make the skates out of a little thicker leather.
I would think.
I learned on hockey skates.
Which I think is the best way.
Oh, well,
I
it's the
think that-
hardest, so
Yes.
I suppose so, yeah.
It is the hardest. I think
Yeah.
you see some girls out there skating on hockey skates, and you know that they mean business.
Yeah, exactly.
They
And they were brown,
mean-
though. I hated that.
They usually were
It was
black.
Black or brown.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were dark colors. I
Well,
didn't like that, you know.
You could have.
And they were Bauer. You know that brand name?
I do not.
Old.
I
It's
do
an
not.
Old name, I guess.
Well,
But
you know
yeah.
what? If you could find those in your house, you could probably get a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
And you could say that
that's
Dorothy
true.
Hamill skated in them.
Yeah.
You could say that.
Well, if I could get past where the mouse chewed around the.
Well, yeah, that's. I
that
think
leather's gone.
that's part of the value.
Yeah. Okay.
That is absolutely
Yeah.
part of the value.
That's right.
I
This
think.
is a Michigan mouse, you know. You
I
live in
think-
Florida. I'll shoot up by a Michigan mouse.
I think so. Well, you know, if you find them, would you put them on again? Go out and skate?
Yeah.
You would.
But I know that I don't have them because I gave them all to my grandkids.
Okay.
It's
well,
easy for me to say.
but
If you bought me a pair, maybe.
okay.
I think I would start with the chair. Do you remember learning with a chair?
Yes.
Okay.
I
and then
would
they take the chair away and you fall.
the patio chair. Actually, I took the patio chaise lounge out there
Oh.
and pushed that around because I was very unsure. You know, you got a chaise lounge, so when you want to kind of go low, you
Oh,
pull the
yeah.
back
Okay.
down,
All right.
and
That
it's a
makes
lot
sense.
heavier to push.
You get tired, you hop on it.
You do?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's a lot heavier to push, but it appears to be more stable.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, the other option, you can push the patio table.
Okay. There you go.
Chairs, not
Yeah.
quite as sturdy as I would like it to be.
You know, ice fishing is popular too on where I live, and some of the neighbors, there was one year there were shanties all over the lake, and there was a neighbor that my husband knew that was fishing. Well, my husband's a scuba diver, so he got on all his gear, and he went behind
Oh, my goodness.
pulled on the guy's pole, pulled on it again, pulled on it a few times, and
Oh,
then
my goodness.
popped up through the hole.
Oh, my
I said,
goodness.
You could have had a heart attack.
Oh, but then he would have said, yeah, I caught a big one.
Oh, that's the story of the neighborhood. That will
it
never
should be.
Yeah.
It absolutely should be.
Yeah.
There was one, not that long ago, I was out skiing, cross-country skiing at night on the lake, and saw a neighbor that had shanty out there, was fishing, and you could see a light in there and everything. And I was checking it out. Sounded like there was music, and I could smell popcorn. I don't know. But I poked my head in there. It was like something I have always wanted, a she shed. This thing was
really
fabulous.
Oh, you're
So
kidding.
I went in there and I said, oh my gosh, if you ever want to get rid of this, this is my she shed.
Oh.
This thing was deluxe.
How big was it?
No, not very big, just not much bigger.
Like one of those 20-foot containers that they use for the...
No, it didn't look like a dumpster.
The 20-foot container
I have a little bit more
either.
class than that. You know, it did have little zip windows. But I went crazy. I says, oh, I've got a she shed. It's
So
on.
what made it a she shed? What was on the inside?
That there were no he's in it. It was just, that it would have been just a me shed.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It was just so stinking cute. A little light in there, ambiance, you know.
Was there,
Yeah,
nice
very
music?
nice.
Waterfall going in the background, maybe?
There could have been if you dug one more hole. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But it's been something, I just think they're so cool. I see the commercials on TV and stuff. I says, how nice to just have a she shed. It reminds me of, what did they, treehouse when you're growing up? You go out there, no boys allowed.
That's right.
And
That's
nothing,
right.
everything you wanted was in there, and it was your own little oasis.
Yes.
And it's good to have an oasis, I think. And
It is, yeah.
for everybody. Everybody should have their own oasis or little place, their little sanctuary and everything.
Yeah. Do you have one?
I would have if he decided he didn't want that anymore.
Oh, it's a he.
Yeah, the
It
guy.
was a he with a she shed?
Well, I called it a she shed.
Oh, okay. You probably called it a he shed.
No, I think he called it a fishing shanty. Because it was a fishing shanty.
He shed that she shed.
Well, I think we've solved some problems today, but I really honestly think we've created more.
There's no doubt in my mind.
We have created more problems. So this particular episode of Soup to Nuts has led us to create some problems that we'll have to work on the next time and try and solve.
I know one problem I have.
What would that be?
You calling me Debbie.
Well,
you have to promise right here on the air that will stop.
Now, see, that's the problem. Now you know why I didn't tell you a nickname for me, because you're never going to hear the end of it.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm calling Ella.
You don't know where Ella is. I told you she's in the witness protection program. Ella can't be reached.
Well, I know where you went to school because I went there too.
Yeah, but Ella's that's a long story.
Oh, okay.
And I think we'll have to tell it next time on Soup to Nuts.
Is she in prison probably, huh?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because then that would be easy to find then.
I think you were really serious with the witness protection program.
Witness protection program. I think we're going to wrap up this episode and try and enjoy some of this dreary, yucky weather out there.
Get out and do some sports if you can. Actually, it was snowing a little bit this morning.
It was.
Yeah, briefly.
It was briefly, but we need some more snow to get out and do some fun stuff and enjoy it. All this rain and fog and icky stuff is, again, just makes you want to go home and eat.
Which we don't want to leave you on that.
No.
So get out there.
Which I don't have a problem with. It's just
read a good book.
How many bags of Doritos can one eat in one day? Let's see. What time is it? We're going to end this episode and thank the Lake Orion community and thank everybody who's so wonderful at On TV for letting Soup to Nuts be a part of the repertoire here. Any closing words, Debbie?
No. Just
no.
anybody.
You don't get any bye.